Hi everyone, I'm Suzanne. I'm a holistic stress relief mentor. And this show is all about Let's Tap. What's tapping? Great question. Tonight we're going to go over this amazing simple technique where you literally use your fingertips to be able to engage the body's energy system to be able to help you to reprogram your stress, revitalize your energy, and reclaim your power. So I'm Suzanne Gundersen. I'm a holistic stress relief mentor, and I help people to be able to relieve anxiety, chronic stress, and build confidence so that they can get into alignment with who they truly are and improve their relationships and improve their health, their mental health, their emotional health, and their physical health. So tonight I'm going to share with you a brief intro on what is energy tapping, and then we're going to get into tonight's topic, which is all about breakthrough overthinking. So if you're a chronic overthinker and looping in your head all day long about what to do, and you want some clarity and you want to get some focus and alignment, then tonight's show is for you, and I invite you to stick around with us. So before we get started, I wanted just to say hi to some people who have joined. I see Angelina's here and Katrina's here. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that my mouse just didn't get frozen here. Hopefully not. So hey everybody thanks for being here. So this show is your opportunity every week to come on and join and learn some of the tapping basics, ask any questions that you might have about tapping, and be able to experience a live tap along. So let's get started. So if you've known about tapping, great. And if you're new, great. We're going to keep it really simple. Tapping is a technique where you literally use your fingertips to engage on any energy points of the body. And when you're doing that, you're literally sending a calming message to the part of the brain, that's the amygdala part of the brain, that says, hey, everything's okay to calm down now. We can calm down those thoughts in the mind. We can help the body begin to settle down. You see, we live in this very overstimulated world where we're constantly being bombarded with information. And so we are just living in a chronic state of overwhelm. And our poor bodies are just living in this chronic state of stress and its stress response. So when we're tapping using our fingertips, we're sending messages to the body and the mind to say it's okay to calm down now. And with that, when you have calm and peace, you've got perspective. And then you have choice in how you want to engage in the thing that's going on in your life. So I'll say hi to a couple of more people here. So I think I see Tanya is here. Hello. Who else? Did I say hi to Amber already, or maybe there's two Ambers? Well, welcome thanks for being here. So let's go over a really simple what is tapping and how to get going with it. So like I mentioned, we've got energy points on the body and we're tapping on certain points. So I invite you right now just to practice along with me. You're going to take two fingers, either hand, it doesn't matter. We're just in beginner mode right now. And if you've done this for a while, feel free to use both hands and use different points that I might be using, but I'm going to keep it simple for everybody. So just take two fingers, and then the first point is if you grew your eyebrows directly together, that's the first point, and you're going to get a nice bounce on that point. You want to be able to almost hear a patting sound so that you know that you're actually engaging that body's meridian. And then you're going to take those same two fingers and right here on the side of the eye and get a nice bounce there. Hearing that pat sound, and then right on the top of your cheekbone right here. So we're just practicing. And then you're going to take all four fingers and get a nice bounce across both your collarbones right here on the opposite sides of my necklace. And just started getting a nice bounce there. And then take one hand and squeeze the opposite wrist a couple times. And so those are the points that I like to use. They're more aligned with the fight or flight energy points on the body. And you might be saying, hey, Suzanne, you missed a couple of points. There's a point here and a point here and a point here and here and here. Well, there are points all over the body and they're all interconnected. So you can't do this wrong. How we tap is we focus on something that bothers us. And how we know it bothers us We might see it as a movie in our mind, we might hear it as a recorded voice or a sound, or we might experience it as a sensation in the body. Now, the trick to tapping is in how you create your stress and struggle. So tonight's topic is going to be about overthinking, and we're going to get into what that means and do some tapping about that together. So if you're an overthinker, let me know, pop it in the chat and say, yeah, I'm an overthinker, I do this all day long. Or let me know what triggers you to be overthinking, and we'll get some ideas in there. So we went over kind of what the basic is of tapping, what the tapping points are, and then how to make tapping work as we go to what bothers us and the specifics of how we know. Everybody has a different way of perceiving their stress, whether it is in movies that they watch in their mind, like that memory that I never forgot about, I can think about it, I watch it as a movie. Maybe you're in the movie, or maybe it's just a sound that you heard, or a voice and someone said something to you, or maybe it's your own voice saying something over and over and over again. Maybe it's that confused voice, or maybe it's a self-critical voice, or maybe it's the sensation that you experience in the body. So how you know you're stressed is really important, because a lot of people try tapping and say, oh, it doesn't work for me. The reason why it doesn't work is because you're not getting specific enough. You have to go to something specific, a specific event, a specific story, a specific memory. And when you're in that experience of it, really be in it. Watch the movie, hear the sounds, feel the sensations, and really narrow your focus right there. Because that really helps you get at the root of what's bothering you. If you just say generally, oh, I'm having a bad day, that's way too broad. You could be tapping, I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. That's really not specific enough. If you could say, I got that bill in the mail and it's real, I don't know how to pay it today, I don't have the money until tomorrow, then you're getting really specific about it. So the more specific you can get, the better results you'll get. Still, if you're specific and you're not getting relief from the tapping, it really could be that you have a strong attachment to it, because truly we are a walking belief system in our subconscious body, which carries all of our records and memories that we have created beliefs about. And so tapping really helps us to be able to wiggle free from some of those beliefs and thoughts and stories and experiences and all the details of it, and allows that energy to move through us. And when it moves through us, then we get to more of a place of peace and calm and relief. So let me know if you have any questions about that. So Amber says her brain won't ever shut off. I'm here, I hear you. Kenzel shared, thank you, Kenzel. Zena's here. Zena is here, and so is Jim. And Zena says, how interesting, we were just thinking about overthinking. No mistakes in the universe, my friend. Hi, Jim. Hi, Ebony. Hi, Cindy. Hello, Cindy. So thank you all for sharing. Thanks for all for your being here. So let's talk a little bit about overthinking. So what is overthinking? Why do we get stuck overthinking? Well, really, it's because of the body. We're living in this very overstimulated world, and we are moving very, very quickly through life. And our bodies are perceiving, they're just perceiving through awareness, through all the senses of everything that we're subjecting it to. And the body is trying to keep up with all of the information that it is experiencing. But what happens is that when the body gets overwhelmed, the nervous system gets going, and we start rising up in the stress response. And when we do that, it starts to engage more parts of our brain, like the limbic system and the neocortex and the rational thinking part of the brain, and asks the part of the brain, what is going on here and what do we do about this? And so the mind says, oh, I'll figure it out. We figure out lots of stuff. And so the mind starts thinking of ideas and thoughts and concepts and stories and memories to recall. The problem is that the overwhelm in the body isn't stopping. It's at that heightened stress response. So it keeps signaling to the mind, I need answers, I need answers, I need answers. And the mind just stays looping and looping and looping and looping. And this is why, who was it that said, Amber says her brain won't ever shut off, because really the body is overwhelmed. And so if we can help the body begin to calm down, the mind can start to settle its thoughts. So how we start to use tapping to help this relief occur for us? Well, I teach tapping in 4 easy steps. Step number 1 is notice what bothers you and how it bothers you. So I invite you all right now to think of your overthinking. What's that storyline that's got you in your mind that you're confused about? Maybe you need some direction, you don't have any clarity for. Maybe it's just you feel lost. The thoughts just keep coming and racing for you. What is it that's got you triggered right now to be in that mode of in your head, stuck in your head, racing thoughts? I just invite you to go and think about that. That's step number 1 of tapping. And then while you're there in that mode of, oh, these thoughts are there and they just keep going and going, what's the intensity level that you experience this overthinking? On a scale of 0 to 10, if 0 is, oh, not so much, and 10 is like, oh, the thoughts are just firing one after the other, and they're not stopping. What number would you give the intensity level of your overthinking? And then step number 3 of tapping is to go to the worst part of it, the part that really stands out, the part where you're like, this is where I'm stuck. I need to figure out the answer to this question. I need this thing figured out. What is the real problem that you're trying to solve? Remember how I shared earlier that the more specific you get about the thing that you're stuck on, the closer you're going to get to the root of it. And that's the whole objective, is to get to the root. Because with tapping, we don't want to just mow the lawn and make it look pretty. We want to get into the subconscious programming that's in our body's reaction and trigger response to help it all calm down and be able to get the clarity and perspective that we're looking for. And it's totally achievable. How do I know? I was a chronic, anxious overthinker for years, and I know what triggers me to get into that mode. Doesn't mean I've solved my problem. I get into those modes of doing it, but I know that tapping has really been the technique for me to be able to settle those racing thoughts in my mind by settling down my body. So if you've gone with us so far, again, step number 1, notice what bothers you and how it bothers you. What is the thing that's got you spinning in your mind and overthinking? Step number 2, give it an intensity number on a scale of 0 to 10. Step number 3, go to the part that really triggers that mind of, oh, but this is the problem I have to solve. This is the thought that I'm really stuck on. And then step number 4 is we're going to tap. And if you're just joining us, then just follow along. We went over the tapping points earlier. You can always go watch it back on a replay. But really right now, aim at that thing that triggers your overthinking. You might be a little uncomfortable about it, but you got to get to that uncomfortable place to get to the root of it, which is really what I really want to weed it out. So if you're there, start tapping right now between your eyes, right here. Repeat out loud after me and say, this overthinking, these racing thoughts, one after the other, they just keep coming. The intensity of it, all the momentum of these thoughts. I'm in my head, stuck up in my head. And then tap on the side of the eye. I'm overthinking. Sometimes I spend all day here. The experience that triggered this overthinking. The speed of it in my body. The rushing. The intensity. And then tap under your eye. All the thoughts. The meaning I've given those thoughts. All the stories. The iterations, the thoughts, one after the other. So confusing. I'm so lost. What's the answer? I'm stuck right here, up in my head, looping these thoughts. Then tap on your collarbones. My body's experience of this overthinking. What I'm reacting to. How I react to it. what it's doing to every body system, how it's affecting me. Then tap between the eyes again. All this overthinking, just calming my thoughts down. I don't need to believe everything that I think. Allowing these thoughts to pass through me now. Then tap on the side of the eye. All the intensity that I experience this overthinking, I just calm it down, settle it down, and tap under the eye. All the meaning of these thoughts, my attachment to the meaning of these thoughts, who I think I am because of these thoughts, what I believe because of these thoughts. I just let it go. I let it go from every cell of my body. I'm willing to let it go. And then tap on your collarbone, this pattern in my body of whatever it's reacting to, whatever it's stressed out for. It's creating this overthinking. I'm helping my body regulate right now, settle it down, and come into peace. And then take one hand and squeeze the opposite wrist a couple times, and take a nice easy breath, blow it out, say the word clear. Then I invite you in your mind to go to something that you know 100% certain the answer to. Maybe it's something that you've already figured out. Maybe it's something that you know how to do easy. Maybe it's a recipe that you have memorized. Maybe it's how you know how to get to the grocery store. Maybe it's you know exactly where your shoes are right now on the floor. Maybe you know what are you certain about right now? What is so clear and so easy to understand right now for you? I invite you to go find that in your mind. It doesn't have to be a big thing, just has to be something you can be certain about. And then once you're there, in that experience of that certainty, of that clarity, I want you to fill your whole body with it, that knowing of, oh yes, I know where that is. I know where that is. When you're there, take your 2 fingers and tap between your eyes and say, this is who I really am, naturally and easily. I have all the answers in me. So simple to access them. So clear. The pathways in my mind body to answers, to the answers that are right, the ones that work for me. This answer, it feels so clear. I found it so easy. The pathway in my mind and body to the answer. I have it. I can have it anytime I want. I know where to find this thing. I know how to do this thing. This is a great skill, and I'm going to leverage it to help the other part get the clarity and focus that it needs. Clearing any blocks or barriers in the way of allowing this clear, focused, knowing part of me that has the answers to helping parts that are confused and need help. And then take your hand and squeeze the opposite wrist. Take a nice easy breath, blow it out, say the word peace. Then I invite you to go back to the thing that you were confused about, that you were overthinking about, and tell me, what is the intensity number that you experience it now? So if you could, pop it in the chat and let me know. What was the number that you started out with, and what number are you at now? And how did you experience the tapping? I'm going to read some comments. Ebony says, peace. Alberto's here. Hello, Alberto. Cindy says she wants to participate, but she's got company. Okay, go be social, Cindy. You can tap on the replay. Hello, Elizabeth Richter. Good morning. Yeah, Cindy says her session with me was life-changing. I did a 30-minute mini tapping session with Cindy a couple of days ago, and she really got some great shifts. And so if you're interested in a 30-minute mini video chat tapping session with me, It's complimentary. There's a link in the description box of the video. Get yourself on my calendar and let's get this personalized for you. Cindy had that experience. Thanks for remembering and mentioning that, Cindy. Hi, Bethany Wolf. Let's see, Candace says this came at the perfect timing. Lori Foster's here. Hello, Lori. Alyssa Marie. Katrina Dean. Stacy Rossman, thank you for being here. Hey, Christy Warnick is here. Yeah, Stacy, that summit, Stacy got probably the tapping summit that the Ortners put out, and it has a lot of great tapping information. That's awesome. Let's see. Okay, so here we're getting to some numbers. So Morgan Late shares that she or he started with a 9 and afterward was a 3. Wow, that's amazing, Morgan. Could you just, now it's just in a few minutes to be able to calm down your mind and body, to be able to go from a stress level of overthinking of a 9 down to a 3. That's amazing. Let me see who else has shared here. Elizabeth Richter said 9 and it's a 6 now. Even that's awesome. That's amazing. Mannion said 10. Mary Ann Anderson Miller says 9 and then a 5. Amber Elizabeth says 10 plus and now a 5, much better. Luli says, okay, a 7 and now maybe a 4. John Cornett said 9 to a 2. Jim says 10 to a 5. So these are all really amazing numbers. And this was just in a few minutes. And it was not even a specific tap. I was doing just a general tap. Imagine if you were really working in a more deeper way and we were using your specific stress and struggle, your specific overthinking thoughts. And maybe you were doing that a little bit on your own. But really, if you were able to get to using those specifics, how much more transformation you'd be able to get. Now, the body learns through repetition. So the more you can do the tapping, the more you can help teach your body how to be more calm and present. That way it won't always get stuck up in your mind. So I invite you, every time you are finding yourself looping in your mind with overthinking thoughts, you go, oh, I'm doing that overthinking program again. Let me just start tapping. And all you have to say is let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. I'm willing to let it go. It's safe to let it go. I deserve to let it go. And I'm letting it go. Let it go. 3 simple words. So don't get confused about what to say. Your real job is to focus on what is triggering you to be in that overthinking state. You might not have an awareness of it to start. You might just be noticing that you've got this rapid fire of thoughts, and that's okay. Wherever you're at is where you start, because the tapping will help bring you to a place of more peace and calm that will give you more information about what it is that triggered you. And as you get more information, there's more specifics for you to use, for you to be able to tap on. And when I say specifics, I mean say the words out loud. Say your story of what your stress and struggle is that's creating your overthinking out loud. All the specific details, because it's your language. It's your specific route that you're trying to get at. And that's the whole point of tapping, is to get to that root of the program, be able to help the mind body regulate it in a whole new way, process it in a whole new way, and then be able to leverage some of the other neural pathways, the other circuitry in the subconscious, whether it's in the nervous system or in the mind, to be able to create a new cycle that is going to lead you toward more peace, more calm, and the clarity that you're looking for. Alyssa said she was at a 9 out of 4. Let's see. Just reading some comments here. Awesome. Alyssa says she's new to tapping, but she's definitely interested in learning. Fantastic. Yeah, so tapping has been around a while, and there's a lot of different approaches to it. Mine is more kind of law vibration based. And what I mean, people say, well, do you mean law of attraction? I mean law of vibration. When we think thoughts, those thoughts are electric because they're in the brain. And in our brain, we have real circuitry of of nerves and wiring in our brain. And so it really truly is electric in the mind. But the body is magnetic because we have emotional patterns that live in the subconscious body based on the memories and records that we have. So when we're thinking these thoughts, they're just electric firing neurons and wiring them together into communities. And you think a thought enough times, it's going to become a belief because we've thought it enough, the body has felt it enough, and it has then created a pattern of a belief structure. And so we live and operate through the magnetism and the vibration of that belief structure subconsciously. We go out and then 95% of our day, we're literally receivers of our subconscious imprints. And so if you're stressing and struggling, yes, your body is reacting to all of what's being magnetized to you and reacting in that state. And tapping is the most brilliant tool that I have ever found. And I've been tapping for about 15 years to be able to help, calm down those nerves that fire together and wire together and all the cells and circuitry in the mind to say, we don't have to believe that thought. We can let that thought pass, and then help the body say, we're going to stay nice and easy and calm. We don't need to imprint another impression of an emotional pattern that we don't want to have anymore, nor do we want to anchor ones that we're trying to move through. So let me know if that made sense or if you have any questions about that. Stacy said, I actually reset my body and my neurological brain, and 1,000 my body. They're doing all energy medicine every day for 31 years. I see colors and I see energy move in different forms and shapes. That's beautiful, Stacy. Yeah, I love energy medicine. I've been practicing Donna Eden's method for about 15 years myself. And the more you get into alignment with yourself in an authentic way, the more you're able to perceive more that's out there. We're truly moving way too fast through life. We need to give ourselves permission to slow down. And in slowing down, we'll actually be able to see more things around us. And that's why Stacey's able to see energy move in different forms and different shapes, because she's trained her body enough to stay in that present moment, that she's able to see things that maybe the average person wouldn't have a perception of. Oh, excuse me. Let me read some more comments. Hello, Lori Dean. So yeah, so this is tapping. It's a brilliant tool where you literally use your fingertips to engage the body's energy system to be able to relieve our experience of stress. If your experience of stress is overthinking, like we did in our topic tonight, then go to the specifics of what's triggering you to overthink, put it in your own words based on the story that you're experiencing. Say those words out loud while you're tapping the tapping points, and you'll be getting right at the root of the pattern that is in the emotional body, that is fueled by the electric thoughts in your mind, and truly is in this looping mode. And when you're tapping, you're breaking the connection between the mind and the body, literally almost like poking it, saying, hey, don't get stuck there. Keep that energy moving. Keep it moving. We don't need to tie anything together right now. Just keep that energy moving. So I invite you all to come and join me over at my private personal Facebook group called the Empowered Tapping Revolution. There's a link in the description box of this video. I do live tapping video like this every day. It's a group where we're building inner wisdom and resiliency for life stresses. Yes, using energy tapping, but there's other type of strategies that I promote on that page as well. So you're invited to come over and join the group. It's the Empowered Tapping Revolution. It's here on Facebook. Also, I invite you, if you're interested in a 30-minute mini tapping session with me, it's a video chat. You're invited to come onto my calendar. There's a link in the description box of this video for you to, get onto my calendar whenever you're available. We'll get on video chat just like this. You'll share with me whatever it is you might be having as your specific stress and struggle, and I can create a custom tap for you right then and there be able to help you jumpstart getting into connection with your true self, getting you some relief that you're looking to experience, and really getting you on a pathway to be able to, improve your relationships, not only with yourself, but everybody else around you. And then also maybe even lessen and reverse any chronic stress symptoms that you might be experiencing. And then from there, really getting into alignment with who you are and building those self-honoring boundaries for yourself to be able to go and express yourself authentically in the world. I think we're all coming to very transformative times right now where people are realizing the things that we have given our energy to and our belief into are no longer there for us in the same way. Whether they're groups, organizations, institutions, friendships, family, jobs, cultures, religions, things are changing. And we're really needing to come into our own alignment. And so tapping helps us to kind of calm down all the stress and struggle that might have us be in this wobbling place between the old paradigm that we've come from and the new one that we're moving into. So let me see if there's any last questions or comments here. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight and for listening to me. Again, please take me up on my offer. Come over to my free Facebook group called the Empowered Tapping Revolution. And also, if you're interested in having a mini little tapping experience, drop on my calendar. You heard what Cindy had shared before. She was on with me earlier this week, and we did a great mini tapping session with her. Created a lot of great shifts for her and got her moving in the direction of what it is that she wants. So again, thank you so much for listening to me. This show is Let's Tap. It's every Monday right here at the Akashic Academy, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye, everybody.